It's amazing, huh? Except for if you have chicken at Popeyes. Didn't you hear black people fighting over chicken at Popeye? That must be some mighty good chicken.
Fighting over chicken.
Popeye made apparently a new chicken sandwich. You had it?
Yeah, it's good.
Was it worth fighting over?
No. It's just chicken.
I know.
It's just chicken. It was a big deal.
I'm gonna have to go over there and get me a sandwich.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna take my gun.
Never know.
You never know.
Yeah.
But they were fighting over chicken.
They have a sign that said Popeyes, or it said, we serve chicken sandwiches on Sunday. And Chick-fil-A says, we don't run out of chicken sandwiches.
All right.
They had like a sign war.
Amazing. Well, they're gonna win because we have chicken all the time. Do you love chicken?
Yeah, I like chicken.
When you were growing up, did you have chicken?
Yes.
Did you have to kill the chicken?
I had to, not me, but I've eaten killed chicken before. I went to a small island.
Well, all of them are dead if you ate them.
Well, you know,
I hope.
I was in a small island.
Uh-huh.
They only had like chicken, and, like live chicken, and I didn't want to eat fish, so she's like, I'll be right back. And she went out, killed the chicken, cooked it.
Amazing.
30 seconds.
Don't push me around. Good morning. Welcome to church. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Get your questions and comments ready, and I will get to them, all right? Go to our chat line. Good morning again, everybody.
Good morning.
Happy Communist Day tomorrow. Is tomorrow Communist Day or something? Socialist Day? Is that socialist? That's what James said. That word Labor Day is Socialist Day. I don't know. But anyway, I hope you all have a good week, good day off tomorrow. We will close here at the office, but we will be doing a radio show live tomorrow. All right? So, I'll tell you this, and then I'll take your questions and comments, because that's how we fellowship here. There was another shooting in Texas yesterday. And it was in Midland, Texas, Odessa. I used to do a TV show there a while back. Do you know why these killings are happening right here?
I think because
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on for the mic. I'm sorry. Who was that with the mic? That's Paul? Hey. Hey, Paul. Wow, you look older. How old are you now? 19. 19. You have a baby out of wedlock? Not yet. Is she having one? No. Oh, phew. Good to see you, Paul. I've known Paul since he was in diapers. Amazing. Okay, go ahead.
Hi. I think actually it's a couple of reasons might be happening. They're blaming it on video games, which is,
Right.
I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
These kids have no purpose in life. They have a lot of anger. They don't see a future. They're like nihilistic. There is nothing. They don't see any future for themselves. So anything triggers them, anything gets them mad, and they just go and lash out.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with the guns being available. If you want to commit a crime, obviously you can use any weapon you want.
Right.
It has nothing to do with guns.
Absolutely.
And so, but I think the generation, they're like lost. They have no fear of God because they took God out of school. And so, especially like the young people, it's they're just lashing out because there's no direction, there's no father at home.
You're right.
There's no future, like they don't see a future for themselves.
And they think the answer is gun control.
Right.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
True.
Who went to college? Who graduated from college? Go get your money back.
Yeah.
Really. It's a waste of time. It is. Who would think the answer is gun control? That is crazy, right? Is this your first time here? Oh, let her have it back, Paul. Yeah. This first time here?
No, I've been here before.
Oh, okay. Any questions for me?
No, today.
All right. What do you think the answer is to the shooting?
Why me?
Why you? You say why you?
Why you ask me? What makes you think I have the answer, Jesse?
You look like you have the answer.
No, I do. My answer is just like this lady says right here is we need the fear of God, Jesse.
Yep. Absolutely.
And without the fear of the Lord, because the Bible says the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge.
That's right.
Guess who hates wisdom and instruction is the fools.
And so, when you hear them talk about taking your guns, what do you think about that?
Again, like you saying, I seen a lot of stuff on Facebook because people being killed with knives and cars.
Yeah.
What? You gonna take away cars and knives and pencils? Does that make sense?
And
the
bricks.
problem, like you saying, is not with gun, it's with the heart.
Yep. This your first time here?
It's my first time here.
What's your first name?
My first name is Tan.
Tan, welcome, man.
Thank
Any
you.
question or
I have
anything?
one question for you.
Yes, sir.
because I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, man.
My question to you is, I think I watched something that you said on your video, and I hear a lot of Christians that claim to be Christian and saying that they're still sinning.
Right.
And your answer was something that when man plays God, so I want to hear your answer on that because
About man playing God?
about
sinning?
me being a Christian, because I can tell you a lot of verses in the Bible tell that, 2 Corinthians 5:17, once you're in Christ, you're a new creature.
Yeah.
But Christians making excuses for themselves, saying that they will sin because they say God know they will sin, and that's not true because God said that,
That's right.
And I want your answer on that. So
What the Christians don't understand is that you must be born again.
True.
And once you're born again, you cannot sin. But what it is, they don't know what it is that they're repentant of. They think it's drinking or not smoking pot anymore or whatever, right? But it's the ego, because any human being who make decisions, who judge themselves and other people, are playing God.
Yeah.
Because we as human beings don't have the right to judge one another, to be angry at one another, to hate one another. And when you play God, you're separated from God to be your own God. And until you admit that you're playing God, that you're wrong for judging, being angry, you would never be born again. And so they don't know that. So the sin is judging.
So when somebody asks you, like I think one time you interviewing two guys that works for Jesse, I think Reverend Al Jackson or something, like Al Sharpton.
Right.
And they saying that they sin and them being pastors and all. And so your answer to them, is that I'm a Christian by the grace of God. I don't want to say I'm perfect, but God said, be ye therefore perfect.
That's right.
Even as your Father, which is in heaven, is perfect.
That's right.
So God said to try, because to be is to try. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he doesn't even say to strive or try. He said, be it.
Be.
That's why once you're born again, you become that. You become as your Father is, and He is perfect. So you have His nature. Good question, man.
Oh.
Amazing. Have you overcome your anger? Come back here.
Jesse, by the grace of God, I was never really an angry person, but by the grace of God now I have the understanding and the wisdom of God. I see things differently. I deal with things differently. I don't lash out. Does that make sense? Because God has been very patient with me.
Right.
Very patient. So I have to be patient. That's how I deal with people. Does that make sense?
Did you overcome anger?
I guess I have, by the grace of God.
Have you overcome anger?
I guess I have, by the grace of God.
Have you overcome anger?
How do you answer that, Jesse?
I'm sorry?
How do you answer that?
Either yes
Yes,
or no.
yes, yes.
Oh, okay.
By the grace of God, yes.
And
By the grace of God, yes.
and what do you mean the grace of God?
Well, the Bible says, Jesse, that we are saved by grace.
Right?
There's nothing, you and I can do.
But why can't you just say yes without saying by the grace of God?
Because by the grace of God comes understanding.
I know.
Because
but
I didn't have understanding before. I was angry all the time.
Are you married?
I am.
Is this your wife?
This is my wife right here.
Oh, how are you? Good. No man is good. No woman is good. So, Amazing. And so, can she give the mic to her? How long you been married?
Like how I met him?
So how long have we been married?
Oh, like
4 years?
4 years.
You forgot? I don't blame you. Has he overcome anger?
Just say yes, honey.
We're in church.
I didn't hear you.
Has he overcome anger?
Yes.
He doesn't get angry?
Like
Righteous anger.
yeah. Like God say like you can anger but do not sin, you know.
Be ye
Like
angry and sin not. That's
Oh,
Yeah.
so he has that kind of anger where he doesn't sin? So when he's yelling at you, you're thinking, wow, he's not sinning.
No, I don't yell. I don't. I raise my voice a little bit, but I don't yell.
When he raises his voice, does it feel like love?
yes, but after that like I'll sit and think about that what he say is he right or he wrong, you know, and
Right.
after that we talk. So that's why we not like fighting or yelling a lot, you know. Like when we raise our voice a little bit
Yes.
and the other like quiet, like to try to listen,
Right.
you know. So that's why,
Amazing.
yeah, that's why we're not like fighting or yelling a lot, you know.
Okay. Any questions for me?
No,
Okay. Did you forgive your mother?
like forgive my mother.
Uh-huh.
Her mama's right there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's your mother?
Yes.
Oh, you're scared to say it now, huh? Remember when your mother was raising you? Remember when she was raising you?
Yes.
And did you forgive her for the mistakes she made?
Yes.
You told her that?
I didn't tell her that because I never like mad or angry at her. So
Oh, you were happy about the mistake?
Yes, mhm.
Like, wow,
I
this is a
have-
great mistake.
yeah.
She just whooped my butt.
she like I think like thanks God about the way she raised me. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I appreciate it. Anybody have any questions or anything? No questions. Amazing. You have your hand up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Question. Would you say that when something's revealed to you opposed to something in your head, would you say you could tell a difference when there's peace from it, that's from God, and then when there's no peace, it's not from God?
God revealed from here, Satan taught to you from here. And so when God reveals something to you, no question, no doubt about it, it's as clear as daylight. And you just do it. You just see it.
Do you have peace about it, or?
Well, you can't have conflict with God.
Okay.
So he is peace. Have you has he revealed something to you? You had conflict?
No, I just feel like, I'm starting to tell the difference between when it's my thoughts or when it's revealed. But before, it's hard to tell, but I think I'm starting to see because when it's something that I know I have to do,
Right.
there's peace in doing it. Like, okay, I know I guess I'm satisfied with it. But when it's a thought, it feels conflicting. Like, oh, I got to do that or whatever the case is.
Oh, you argue with the thoughts,
No, I don't argue with thoughts, no.
but you have a conversation with them?
No.
I was going to say, don't do that. You're going to end up on the street talking to yourself. Praising the Lord.
But is that how it is, though? When it's revealed, there's a sense of peace that comes with it.
Well, I don't know what you mean, but there's no conflict with it, no doubt at all. You know what I mean?
I think.
So you're not convinced yet that every thought is a lie?
I'm convinced. I think sometimes you just don't realize that you're in a thought. So I'm convinced when I know that every thought is a lie, but when you train so long for just being okay with it, then you don't always catch yourself in the thought.
Right.
Yeah. But I do believe that every thought is a lie
So sometimes you're not sure when you're in your head or not,
until after the fact, until it's too
Right.
late.
but you do recognize it after a while.
I can see
but
that
don't
as a
worry,
thought.
you'll grow to
Right.
know. Yeah, just be patient. As long as you recognize at some point, I was in my head.
Right.
And you'll start to know that's Satan's voice and not the voice of God.
Okay.
Because he doesn't talk to you, he reveals to you.
Right.
All right? Go, Joel.
That's all.
Yes. Oh, no, don't worry about it. I'm glad. Take the mic for me.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi. First time here.
Oh, welcome.
And
What's your first name?
Annette.
Annette.
Yeah, I've been.
I have a cousin named Annette.
Yeah, Antoinette.
Oh, not Antoinette. Oh, Annette.
Annette.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I've been watching your show a couple weeks now, so I'm very intrigued of everything. You interviewed a friend of ours, Brother Dean,
Dean.
street preacher.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
From Arizona.
Yes,
That's your preacher? A friend, you say?
friend.
I like him.
Yeah.
He's tough. Right on.
So we recently, over a year ago, we left a church we were congregating in.
Yeah.
So basically, we're trying to look for a church. We do go to Bible study.
So you live in Arizona?
No,
Where?
I'm from LA.
Oh, you live in LA?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so we started going to Bible study with Reuben Israel, street preacher.
Oh, yeah. I had him on the show too, I think.
Okay.
Has the room been on, James?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going on 40 years.
He
Street
is?
preaching.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. For his calling, he doesn't call it a ministry, but that's his calling.
Right.
So basically, we just trying to visit some churches, part of the assembly we were in, and the pastor, when he found out we weren't going to church anymore, he says, "You need to have a pastor," and I felt, and since you're asking, I just want to know if you're a Christian, do you need to have a pastor?
No. Because if the pastor was called by God, he will be always pointing you back to the God that's in you. Because the same source that's teaching the pastor will teach you as well. There's nothing wrong with fellowshipping, but you don't have to have a pastor. That's a lie. It's a made-up lie by men who want to control you.
That's right.
So that they can feel good about themselves. The Holy Spirit is in all of us. And so once you're born again, you're going to reconnect with that. You will start to remember, and he will teach you all things.
Yeah.
But no, you don't have to have somebody over you.
Yeah.
Unless it's your husband.
Yes.
Yeah. So no, that's not true.
Okay.
So tell him he's lying.
Yeah.
Are you married?
Yes.
Oh, you are. This your husband?
20 years.
Amazing.
Yes.
And so is your husband the head of you?
Yes.
Do you obey him?
Yes.
You obey your husband?
Yes.
You obey your husband?
Well, I
I thought so.
consider we help each other. I'm his helpmate.
Right,
And I want the best for him.
right.
So if I need to, kind of shed light on something, then I'll share that with him because I want the best for him.
Right. And is he over you?
Yes.
You obey him?
Well, he doesn't really tell me what to do.
He doesn't?
Not necessarily.
Beta! Beta male. And so how do you feel that he doesn't tell you what to do?
We kind of came to agreement since we started going to church and understanding what it is to be in a marriage, God's institution. Then we kind of know our roles. Because before watching you, I thought he was the head of the household, but that wasn't the case.
Right.
So
He's the head of the woman.
yes,
Yeah. And so, but before hearing me, you thought he was the head of the house?
yes.
So you would let him do all the cooking and cleaning?
I would encourage him to do that.
Oh, you did? And did he do it?
Yes, we encourage each other to.
So you told him go in there, wash the dishes,
No,
and cook?
because he found a knack for cooking because we went to some classes and then he just does it on his own.
Oh,
Yeah.
amazing. And so, are you the head of your wife?
Yes.
What's your first name?
My first name is Carlos.
Carlos. So, at first you were head of the house, and now you're the head of your wife, right?
Yes.
And what is it like being the head of your wife?
Well, first I wasn't in the very, very beginning because I had to learn to take my place.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't serving the Lord. I wasn't going to church. I was living for the world. I was a sinner.
Right.
I was on my way to hell until my wife and my daughter prayed for me, and I surrendered to God, and I found it to do God's way. As being head of the house and head of your wife, you got to first love God with all your heart,
Yeah.
mind, and soul.
Yeah.
And then you got to love the Lord
That's for
and
sure.
seek the Lord first. Because, see, I had it all backwards. I thought that being head of the house and being head of your wife was machismo. Well, I'm the man, and I'm going to do it this way, and you got to follow me and stuff.
Matisa?
Matisha, yes.
Oh, hola.
Yes, machismo. Yes,
Mamma mia.
being like you're the master and you're the
Right.
king.
Yeah.
And I had it all backwards because
Right.
I didn't know the Lord. I never. I knew that there was a
So
God.
does she obey you?
In the beginning, no, it was really really hard. We were bumping heads like two rams,
Yeah.
like two goats. We would just constantly be bumping and stuff until I had to find my place to seek God first with the open heart.
So does she obey now?
Yes.
And what do you do when she doesn't obey you?
I get frustrated and I get angry, but like
Not
the
good.
Bible says, be angry but sin not.
But
So-
not that kind of anger,
but
not
I keep it
mama's
in.
anger.
I keep it in, and then I go and I get my Bible and I start reading.
Oh, man.
I start reading my word.
Do you want to live a life where you never have to get angry again? Do
Well,
you believe that's possible?
Yes, I want to be able to be in peace
Right.
with God because the Bible says that there's no peace for the wicked. I don't want to live a wicked lifestyle.
Right. That's right. And so you want to overcome that, right?
Yes.
You got to go and deal with your mother. You
Well-
got to forgive your mother.
Okay.
You would never, ever, ever, ever be the head of your wife until you forgive your mother so you could be born again, overcome the woman. Salvation is about overcoming the woman and returning to the Father.
Okay.
That's what it means to be born again. So you need to deal with your mother. Tell her how the cow ate the cabbage. What do you think about that?
I think that's good, but the only thing is my mom is deceased. She died
Oh, she
2000.
is?
Yes.
Well, get to know yourself and realize you can't help yourself. With that anger you have, it controls you. And that's the same thing that was controlling your mother, and she couldn't help it. And so if you can understand yourself, it will help you to understand her, and it will cause you to forgive her. God will cause you to forgive her. But you got to overcome the female nature. It's not normal for men to have anger at all, because they are the head of the wife, and so they have to lead her. And an angry man can't do that. It's like a lesbian relationship. Lesbian!
Amen.
So forgive your mother. You know, realize just as you can't help yourself, she could not help herself. Matter of fact, she's living in you right now. That's her anger that you're acting out with. What do you think about that?
Amen.
All right. Okay. Any other questions for me?
No, sir.
Oh, okay. Yes, James.
Questions from online.
Okay. Yeah, forgive your mother, you must be born again. People don't tell you that salvation is about overcoming the mother and returning to the Father. They think you can run down to the front of the church and say, I believe Jesus died on the cross and rose again for me, and now I'm saved, and then they feel good for a moment. They feel high, and after a while that high disappears and all hell breaks loose again. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. Yes, James.
So one person online is asking on YouTube live chat is asking if my father committed suicide, can I still return to him?
But return to the Father just simply means don't hate him. Don't be angry at him. He couldn't help himself. That's all it means. Absolutely. Matter of fact, you never will know God until you forgive the Father, because you hate the Son, and men are sons of God, so you can't hate the Son and love the Father. It doesn't work that way. So absolutely.
Another person is asking about the parable of the talents and asked, is it a sin not to pursue your full potential in life?
As this young man just said, you should only seek first the kingdom of God and his right way, and all to be added. So whatever talent he's giving you, it'll naturally happen. You don't have to pursue it. It'll find you. That's why he said, don't look for that stuff. It'll find you, right? And you will find yourself doing it, and then one thing will lead to another one. It will just naturally open up for you. So absolutely, but don't pursue that. Don't listen to Oprah. What's your talent? In the jacket right here, what do you think about that?
About what?
The talents thing.
I'm
Should
sorry.
you pursue your talent or God?
To be honest, I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
That's an honest answer.
That's an honest answer. Is this your first time?
First time, I just started listening to you. In all honesty, first I found it entertaining. I was like, this guy's funny. But and I started religiously listening to you, and then something happened. Like I ended up forgiving my father.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Right on.
And my mother.
How did that go with your father?
It went great. At first, I didn't know how to do it. I
Right.
always thought I wanted to, and I was going to therapy and that kind of stuff.
You were going to therapy?
Therapy
That's
to
amazing.
figure it out. But
Go get your money back.
yes, no, but I found that there was just, through you, I found a simple answer.
Yeah. God is so simple, I don't even have the word to express it. Really.
And I just told him, I forgive you. You couldn't help yourself. You didn't know what you were doing. I don't want to hold this anger anymore.
Right.
And I saw in his face, like, it was almost like he was okay with it. His reply wasn't with words, it was through his look.
Yes.
And I knew it. And he didn't have to say a word.
Amazing.
And our relationship is starting to build over again. We're going to a Lakers game in October. So
You going to what?
a Laker game.
Oh, are you? Amazing.
I've never hung out with my dad in years, and now we're going to a Laker game in October.
Good, man. And what did you resent your father for? What did he do to you?
And this is something I'm learning from you as well. He was an alcoholic. He was abusive. He wasn't there. He wasn't protective.
So what did he do to you?
That's what I had to learn, that he didn't do anything to me.
Right.
He was just projecting his generational hurt, and it had nothing to do with me, and I forgive him. And it's the same thing that I've done to my brother and my sister, and project hurt, and it's not me. I didn't do anything to them. It's what my holding of anger has done. So my dad hasn't, that's why it's easy for me to, I don't even think about the past with him anymore.
Right.
I don't even think. My first plan was to go in and say, you did this in 1994, you did this in 2000,
Yeah.
you did this in 1999.
Mama.
Yeah.
And so, so like when you say he was abusive, what does that mean?
He was violent.
To you?
To me, my siblings, my mother.
How was he violent toward you?
Oh, he hit me.
He hit you?
Yes.
Boy. My
Get
granddaddy
up off
hit
your
me.
knees.
My granddaddy and grandmama hit me. I didn't think of it as abusive.
When you're a kid, you might confuse it with that. You know, it's not. Your first reaction is like,
I
yes.
wish I had said, "Oh, you're being abusive." My grandfather said, "I'll show you abusive."
I've heard that line too. I've heard that line too.
Amazing. And then you went to your mother, right?
My mother told her the same thing, and she just cried out to forgive me. And
She said,
still,
"Forgive me."
She's still in a state of beta female. You
Yeah.
know? But
Beta.
I love her, and she is still dealing with. I could just see now when I'm not in it with them, but I'm looking on the outside. It's like
Yeah.
they have so much they're dealing with.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with me.
That's right.
You know, and I'm
Absolutely,
like,
man.
she's still going through stuff. I can see her like her hurt, her pain. So I'm a better conduit as a love instead of anger. To her.
Right. Absolutely.
And I figured. So I want to thank you for that. I figured that out through you.
Amazing.
I did.
That's amazing, man. Well, God is waking up a lot of you guys and ladies. It's amazing how you're doing that, man. And by the simple truth of go and forgive. All you do is drop the anger, and you could be free. Isn't that amazing?
It's amazing.
And a lot of people are suffering all of their lives, read the Bible, hooping and hollering, going to church, but they won't forgive, have not forgiven.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time waiting for my parents to say, I'm sorry. And that just,
It's not going to
it's not
happen.
going to happen, and it shouldn't happen. You know?
If they're wrong, they're supposed to apologize.
Yeah.
Especially when kids are growing up, because kids know that the parents are wrong, but they won't ever admit that they're wrong. And that's what's frustrating.
Yeah.
It frustrates kids. How are you going to tell me what's right when I know you're wrong? And you never apologize for being wrong.
Yeah.
If parents were to apologize, kids will forget.
Yeah.
Unless they continue to do it. Well, good, man.
I'm not even seeking the apology anymore.
I'm sorry?
I'm not seeking for their apology anymore.
Well, you don't need it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need it now. You're grown. Any questions for me?
You're amazing.
Oh, amazing. Did you celebrate Men's History Month?
I did, in my own way.
Right on.
Yeah.
How about White History?
I laughed at it.
You laughed at white history?
I don't disagree with you on it. I think everyone should be acknowledged.
Right
so
on.
Black history, white history. It didn't, at first it kind of was like, what? And then I was like, he's kind of right. Everyone needs recognition.
So did you tell your black friends Happy White History Month?
Not directly, no.
Amazing.
But when I was alone with myself, I told
You
myself.
said it to yourself. Happy White History Month, self. That's your wife or girlfriend?
This is my friend. We are dating, but we're learning to know each other.
Right
we
on.
agreed to talk to each other for a year.
I'm sorry?
We agreed to get to know each other for a year.
Right on. And how's that going?
We are like best friends.
Right on. And you leave it out the personal stuff, right?
Oh, yeah.
Start with the S.
Oh, yeah, no sex.
How is that going dating here without the S?
It's amazing.
You like it that way, huh?
Yeah, it's very
Because
nice.
you get to know each other.
Hmm.
Does he get on your nerves sometimes? You said yes.
Of course, everything,
And
can.
what do you do? How do you deal with him when he get on your nerves?
I just go to my house or,
I'm going home.
forgive, leave it alone.
Have you dealt with your mother?
Yes,
You went to her? What's your first name?
Sakile.
Tequila. And what happened when you went to your mother? You went to her?
Yes,
You went to your mother?
I went to my mother.
And how did that go?
It was great.
What did you say to her?
Well, I have a really good relationship with my mother. I grew up with just her. But I had some resentments from her
Yeah.
after many years. And I forgave her for them.
What did you say to her?
I said that I resented her for certain things and that it's okay because I know that she was just doing her best and she needed the things that she needed in her life and had nothing to do with me necessarily.
How about your father? And what did she say? Girl, you better get out of here. I brought you in this world. I'm taking you out. What did she say?
She understood and, she said that she loves me no matter what. So
And how about your father?
I'm working on forgiving my father.
How are you working on that?
I call him every other day.
So you talk to him every other day?
Yeah.
But what do you mean you're working on it? You can't work on forgiveness. You have to go and forgive or not. There's no such thing as working on it.
I still have anger.
Toward your father?
Yeah.
And why?
He has an alternative lifestyle that it didn't really include me as much as I would have liked it to.
Right.
He wasn't necessarily the father that I thought I wanted.
What's an alternative like that?
He's a musician, he travels a lot.
Oh, you had me nervous. I thought you meant like a drag queen or something. Were you nervous? I was like, well. But he wasn't a drag queen or anything, right?
No.
And he's not homosexual or anything?
No, he's
Oh,
not.
don't use that word alternative. Say musician really fast. And so what does that have to do with you? Why do you resent him for that?
I guess I just wanted him to be proud of me growing up, and he wasn't really there
Right.
to do that.
Yeah. So you're longing for the Father.
Yes.
Why don't you just tell him that? You don't need to work on that. Why don't you just say it?
I did, but then I still have feelings of longing or resentment or anger.
So you talk to him on the phone or in person?
Both.
And what did he say?
He, I think, has some guilt from not being as involved as he could have been.
Right.
So he has he kind of deflects the situation and makes himself a victim.
But you have to forgive him anyway,
I know.
whether he admits it or not, and God will forgive you.
Yeah.
You don't need him to apologize or anything.
Right.
During this year while you guys are dating, I would recommend you do that.
Yes,
And face it. It's best to do it in person if you can.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came
And then-
through LA.
Oh, okay. And so if he doesn't understand it, he's just not ready.
Right.
Just forgive him.
Right.
And so when you feel that when you're around him or you're yearning for him, just watch it. Don't listen to what Satan says about it, and you'll be fine.
Right. Thank
Really.
you.
God will take it all away from you. And that way, when you get married, you won't pass that on to your children.
Right.
Good. Any questions for me?
No.
So is your boyfriend a beta or alpha? Beta. That's beta left. Beta left. Alpha or beta?
He's an alpha.
What's make him an alpha? You in church?
What is
They'll
an
let them sit
alpha?
here? I think they left. Are they still here?
No, they're gone.
Okay.
Can you
Yeah.
tell me the qualities of an alpha?
Oh, if you have one, you would know it.
Okay.
He's working on it, I can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, you come to know after about 50 years. All right. I'll tell you in a minute.
Okay.
I want to find some more betas first. All right. Great. Any other question for me?
No.
I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
All right. Any question, anybody? Okay. Yes, sir. And then I have one. I wrote it down. I got to ask this. Yes.
In the rare instance, like you always say about forgiving your mother,
Right.
what if there's an instance that you have to forgive the father first?
Well, you should forgive both, but most people don't know they need to forgive the mother. And so they go and try to forgive the father, but they're still not free because they have not forgiven the mother, so men and women, so they can overcome her and become themselves again.
Okay.
So that's why the mother has been told that she's the victim, she's the nice one, she's the loving one, right?
Yeah.
And that's not true.
But what if there is an instance like that? Like, what if the dad's abusive and like a drunk and just lame?
Abusive like a drunk? What do you mean?
Like, well, my dad wasn't like that. I'm just saying for other instances. Like, what if the dad's abusive, is, you know,
What's abusive?
like physically abusive?
What does that mean?
When you beat the children for no reason, like take out the anger on them.
But I wouldn't get into all that if I were you, because it's a responsibility of a father to raise the children.
Yeah.
And sometimes he may have to spank them.
Yeah.
Or, you know, but the world call it abusive now.
Yeah.
And so now the fathers are afraid to raise their children. I wouldn't get into all that.
Okay.
All right? Because fathers love their children. They're not going to, unless they got something seriously wrong, they're not going to deliberately hurt their children.
Yeah.
But, so I wouldn't get into that abusive crap.
Yeah.
From
I
the
think
world.
that's totally true. Like, I grew up not thinking I was getting abused.
Right.
I grew up thinking I was being disciplined.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
I understood it.
Same here.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, so I wouldn't get into that. Yes.
So how do I trust, like the father, to raise my son correctly if my husband does not know God? Like, how would I bypass that? How do I fix that?
How would you trust your husband to
Right.
raise you? The
Like
son?
if I were to leave like my husband to raise my son,
Right.
so I don't mess him up,
Right.
basically. But my husband does not know God. How do I, like, can I trust my husband still to raise my child if he
Is it
himself?
his child too?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even though like
Yeah, but why do you say he doesn't know God?
like not he's Christian but not like born again Christian. It's just the name religion.
But that's
He's
how
not
most
really
of them
involved.
are.
Yeah, but
Most
like,
men and women are not, just a name.
I am more, I'm born again Christian. So my faith is like number one for me.
Right.
But my husband is not on board 100%. He's like 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Right.
So-
Were you married when you became a Christian?
Yeah.
And so you were married when you became a Christian?
I was Catholic before.
Before you got married?
Right.
And were you a Christian when you were a Catholic?
Yeah. I thought we thought so.
You thought so?
But I thought so
Yeah.
until I actually found out that
Yeah.
Catholicism is not
No, that's not right.
Christianity, which was shocking.
And so then you got married,
Right.
and then you became a normal Christian.
I became a born-again Christian.
Right. And how did that happen while being married?
Actually, by accident. I've kind of drifted from like religion and stuff like that. I even
Right.
baptized my kids according to Catholic teachings and
Right.
stuff like that. But then we've kind of stepped away from religion completely, from going to Catholic church and all that.
Right.
And then a cousin of mine sent me a video on YouTube about what really the difference between being a Christian and being Catholic, and that shocked me because I did not really know.
Right.
And then I went back and I was like, oh my God, I need to study everything all over again. So I bought a Bible. I did not have one. I bought a Bible. I bought like 4, actually.
You bought 4 Bibles.
I bought 4 because I did not know which version of the Bible I needed.
That's amazing.
And in 2 languages. And
Isn't that amazing?
and I had them all laid
Anybody
down.
need an extra Bible?
And I had them all laid out on the bed, and I was just going page by page between all
Right.
4. And then I found out, like, okay, so we were not really Christian before.
Right.
Oh my God, like, what was I doing all these years? So
Did you tell your husband
I
he
did.
needed to become
I
a
included
Christian?
him in everything, and I was telling him about everything, like, oh my God, we were doing this wrong. Was not right.
Yeah.
He's kind of like, he understands, but he is not there.
Do you trust him?
Not really.
What?
Not really.
You don't trust your husband.
He makes a lot of bad decisions and stuff like that. But I know that
Do
his
you
heart.
love him?
I do.
You
I
love your
respect him.
husband?
Yeah, I respect him.
Do you love him? No.
I respect him.
Do you love him?
I respect him.
But you don't love him?
No.
You don't love him? I can't hear you.
No, I don't. I do not.
That's amazing.
But I respect
And
him.
why don't you love him?
Because love is just a feeling that comes like suddenly and just
Love is just a
disappears. But you know, like I don't hate him, but I respect
you
him
don't
as my
love him.
husband and the head of the household. You know.
How you respect him and don't love him?
I don't have that mushy feeling like, oh, those feelings are no longer. But I respect him as he's the father of my kids, as he's the head of the household, that he's the
The head of
breadwinner.
you, not the household.
I'm sorry?
Head of the wife.
He is the, well, of course.
Is he your head?
Yes, he is.
Well-
I let him be.
You let him be.
Yes.
Beta.
I swear he is beta. But I'm trying to make him an alpha. I try.
Yeah. Let me say this. You love God?
100%. No
I'm
doubt.
sorry?
No doubt.
How is it possible to love God and not love your husband?
Because God is perfection. If you don't feel love from God, you really then do not know God. That's why I respect my husband. I don't hate him, but I don't have that love like I'm in love. But I do have respect for him. And I do like, we don't get along like in the sense we don't like the same things. We don't like to watch the same like shows or movies. We have nothing in common in that way. So I
Most
think
men
that's
don't have anything in common with
nothing,
their
yeah,
wives.
like literally nothing in common,
That's not
which is
unusual.
weird. But that comes with traditional marriage, which
But-
is,
yeah.
you know.
But let me ask, how do you love God and not love your husband?
God does not harm people. Like God would never put you in a situation where you would be harmed, and there is no evil coming from God.
But how
Evil
do
comes
you
from
love
man.
God and not love your husband?
I don't know.
You don't know?
God is pure love, so no matter what, you get just only
So if
love.
God is pure love and you are a daughter of God, how is it that you don't love your husband?
I love him, but I'm not in love with him, if that makes any sense.
Right. So
Obviously, yeah, in the beginning I was, yes.
What do you say?
I was head over heels.
Be quiet, boy. Be quiet.
I used to, yes.
Mama.
Yes, I used to.
Let me just tell you this. It's impossible to love God and not love your husband. You have to, now that you're married, in order to get to God, you have to love your husband first and go through him to get to God. Because whether he a beta or not, he still represents the Father, right? Maybe a weak representation.
Right.
But if you don't love your husband, and I don't mean the mommy love, because God's love is not a feeling. You can't feel it, you can't taste it, you can't touch it. And so if you don't love your husband, you can't love God.
I think
If
like,
if you wasn't married, you can go straight to the
Right.
Father. But since you're married, you got to go through the Son.
right. I mean, like, I feel that it's hard. If he was probably on the same, maybe, if he was like an alpha, I would say, like how you would state it.
Right.
If he was God first, then maybe it would be easier for me because we would be on the same route, on the same lane
Right.
together, but he is not.
So,
So I
did
feel like
God
he is-
love you when you were in that fallen state? When you were a sinner, did God love you?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the
Before
question?
you knew God,
Right.
did he love you?
Yes,
And so how is it that God was able to love you in that fallen state, but you can't love your husband? He has to be a certain way for you to love him. Does that seem right?
I'm sure, no, but I don't know how to explain it. I mean,
You're
either
explaining it.
I'm
You're doing a very
young, you
good
know.
job.
We were young when we
I
got
understand, but now
married.
you're older.
Right.
My point is, as a daughter of God, you have to love all people.
I do.
And they don't have to be a certain way for you to love them. You have to love your enemies, right?
I do have anger, though. I do.
I can tell.
Yes,
and what are
I
you
do.
angry about?
A lot of things.
Like
a lot
what?
Of, a lot of like animosity from his family towards me. Family
what now?
Animosity from his family towards me.
Right.
A lot of drama and headaches and stuff like that. So I stepped away from them. I cut my relationship with them because I just wanted to be in peace.
Right.
But I obviously do not have peace.
Right. And so why do you think you're a Christian with all that anger?
No, I know I need to work. I'm
'Cause you know
sure.
anger is unforgiveness, right?
Yes.
You're judging them.
And I actually, since Adriana introduced me to you, as she always tells me, Jumana, you gotta, push yourself you need to do that. And she always tries to push me to do it, and I am having a hard time forgiving.
And so why do you think you're a Christian then if you have a hard time forgiving?
I'm probably not worth to be calling myself a Christian.
Right.
I am having a hard time forgiving my in-laws.
And why?
I'm honestly, I don't know. But they hurt me, and they hurt my husband too.
Right.
They are, and so, like till today, and I don't see from them towards him no love whatsoever.
Right.
Like, it's like he's a stranger to them. So it hurts me to see how they treat him. And I see him projecting the same feelings toward our son. So that's why I am asking, how do I not mess up my son and let my husband take care of him, but then he's suffering through all of the resentments toward his family
Right.
because of the way they treat him.
If your husband leave his son with you, you're going to destroy him.
I'm worried about that.
Yeah. So what you got to realize that we have no right to hate anyone. We all have sinned
Yeah.
and must be born again, right? And so your in-laws, they are in a fallen state. They're not children, based on what you're telling me.
Right.
They're not children of God, right?
No, they're
But
not.
you have to forgive them because they cannot help it.
How can
If they
I-
could be better, just as you can't help but be angry at them, right? You can't help yourself. Likewise, they can't help themselves. And so you can't help yourself should help you to understand they can't help it, and you should forgive them by not resenting them. Let them know, you know what, I've been hating you people because you're no good, and I'm wrong. I'm sorry for hating you. You should tell them, and then keep away from them.
Okay.
Don't have them over for dinner. Don't have them over for anything. Don't go to their house or anything. But you cannot hate them. Otherwise, you're going to destroy your son and your husband.
Right.
And you're judging your husband and his family member, you're no better.
Right.
All in the name of Jesus.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, you're right.
You can't hate people. That doesn't mean you got to hang out with them, but you don't have a right to hate them because it will separate you from God, and he's not going to draw you in until you forgive.
Yeah.
Before you enter into the kingdom of heaven, you must forgive.
Yeah.
And there's a kingdom within us. And so you got to stop judging them. You're no better than them.
True.
I'm sorry?
Yes, you are right.
So what made you think you're a Christian? All holy.
I am seeking
Yeah,
God.
seeking
I
is
am
a better
seeking
word.
God. Yes.
Well,
I'm
the way
seeking
you
God.
find him is to get to know yourself.
Yeah.
And he's going to show you that you need to forgive, and then he'll draw you in.
Yeah.
Because hatred, anger is Satan's nature, and he's not going to let you in. He's not going to let Satan's children into heaven.
Yes.
So So you got to go and forgive them. They can't help it.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think you are absolutely correct.
Yeah. And your husband, forgive him too. And then once you forgive him, God will operate through you. And that light can probably draw your husband into
Okay.
it.
Okay.
But you can't tell him to be that way. You have to be an example.
Okay. Okay, so it makes sense. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to go and face your in-laws.
Okay.
You scared?
I'm not scared. I'm just, it's the will to do it is
You don't want to do it?
I don't think that, how do I put it there? I've been told like before, oh, did they ask you for forgiveness? I'm like, no, they're not.
They don't need to ask.
Right. So I'm on that way. I'm waiting for them to ask for forgiveness. I want them to
No.
acknowledge their mistakes and then me then forgiving them.
No,
But,
forget about them.
Yeah.
Forgive them, and God will work on you and your family.
Right.
And let them suffer and die.
okay. I understand what you mean.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But
Yes.
you must forgive
Yeah.
them so you can start a new generation.
Right. I understand now.
Are you Armenian?
No, I'm not. I'm from Jordan.
Oh, okay. But you got to face them.
Yes. I've been being told that for a while now. And I need to come to terms to actually doing it.
And just know they don't have to apologize.
Right.
They don't have to admit to anything. Forgive them, it's going to be amazing.
Okay.
And then, God will bless your family.
Yeah.
Because those are not your family. Your family is your husband and your son,
Yes.
not them.
True.
All right?
I will. I will do it.
All right. Let me know how it goes.
I will. Thank
Okay.
you. Thank
Any
you.
other questions about that?
No, that's
You feel better now?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, go and forgive, and don't feel like you're better than anyone because you're a Christian. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be an example for them. Be honest with them.
Right.
You don't have to hang out, but be honest.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
when the mother called up and said, "We're going to be celebrating a party today. You want to come over?" No. Why not? I don't like you. It's okay to tell them that. Why you don't like me? Because you mean, you're nasty, and I'm not going to let you destroy my child. It's okay to be honest, really.
Right, right.
That's what love is.
That's true.
Just don't hate. Isn't that amazing?
It is amazing. I actually feel lighter.
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
That's right. That's right. Right on.
Thank you.
Let me take right here first, and then over here, behind you. Paul, get the mic.
You said if a man cries, he's not a real man.
Beta male.
So when is it right for a man to cry?
If somebody die, like daddy or mama or your wife or a kid, have a little cry, wash your face and go your way. Or sometimes if somebody doing something really well and you are happy to see them succeeding at it, sometimes a celebration cry is okay too.
Like tears of joy, basically.
I'm sorry?
Like tears of joy,
Yeah,
basically. Yeah.
absolutely. Because sometimes I hear stories from men and women around the world, and they have had horrible lives, right? And then they wake up and they realize, wow, it's something else, not what they thought. I feel like crying. But because I'm glad that they can see.
Got you.
Yeah.
What about like gospel music?
Who is it?
Gospel music. Like,
What-
what if you listen to like gospel music and it like touches you, kind of like makes you reflect, and you cry about it?
Oh man,
And
I
a
would
happy-
put that. Beta. Beta male. You up there crying over gospel music?
No, like gospel
Oh,
music
Lord, this feel
really,
good.
because like when you're going through things in life,
Right.
you know, and the gospel music really like touches you and puts you back on your feet.
Don't use that as escape.
Oh, okay.
That's a drug. When you're going through things, I don't know, when you say when you're going through things, what do you mean going through things?
Just like, well, just for example, like losing your job, or like friends hating you, or just like anything that
That's
makes
not
you.
going through anything.
Well, all right. Well, like losing like foreclosure, or like losing.
That's not
your
going
house.
through anything.
Okay, well, all right. How about getting like just beat up, bullied, or
Beta.
got raped? Just like little, just.
You got
things.
raped?
No, every time I
If
speak,
you got
I don't.
raped, you should
no,
cry.
No. I'm not speaking from my background.
Oh.
Everything is just example. I just want to hear.
Oh, you made up all that?
Yeah, pretty much.
I used to rape one because I hear a lot of men and women say, oh, I was molested as a child and I could never get over it. if you were molested, so-called molested as a child, male or female or whatever, right? If you don't hate, it would be nothing. Because your body will heal, and if you don't hate, your soul will heal. But if you hate, then your soul is separated from God, and you will always remember that as though it's always with you. But if you don't hate them, that doesn't mean if you got to take some type of action, you still take action, but don't hate. It would be as though you never went through anything. You can overcome, in God, you can overcome all things, but you're never going to overcome it if you become angry. Because Satan is your daddy. All right? So next time somebody rape you, no, man. The world would tell you, oh, it stays with you all your life. I never forget it, right? Because they don't believe in God. They have not been born again. But you can overcome all things. All right, so next time you get raped, just say, oh, no problem. No. I just want hate. Right here. Did you know you could overcome all things? It would be as though you don't have a past, like nothing ever happened. It's so amazing.
Thank you.
Yes.
So, did you have a question?
No, you can go ahead, yeah.
Give it to him?
No, you first. Go ahead.
Okay. I have 3 Bible apps on my phone.
Three
and the
of
reason,
them?
And the reason is because, I think I told you this before, but I'll tell you again. I grew up Catholic, and my father is Jehovah's Witness because of his wife. And then I heard, obviously the King James Version. So which version of the Bible would you recommend that's the clearest and the most
James,
direct?
what's the name of my Bible? I thought my Bible was a Jewish Bible, but it's not. I just found out it was a Catholic
It's
Bible.
Old Testament.
It's called the New Jerusalem Bible.
Ooh.
That you have, and it's a Catholic Bible.
All right, it's a New Jerusalem, and I
Catholic
like it
Bible?
because it makes it plain and simple.
It has all the books.
Yes.
Because some of the Catholic Bible has books that the other Bibles don't.
Well, this one has some and then some.
Okay.
So
And then
try
some.
that.
Okay. All right.
And when you read it, don't read to remember.
Right.
Just pick it up, read something, put it away, because Satan will interpret it for you, and it won't be the right thing.
Right. And actually, that was a question, the other question I had. If it's okay if I ask another?
Yes.
When you say doubt every thought, what is the difference between doubting every thought and getting kind of nihilistic about things?
What's
like,
nihilistic?
oh, nothing matters.
Oh.
It's all a lie. The world is a lie.
Doubt that too. When that comes to your head, doubt that too. Either believe it or just let it pass.
Okay.
Because Satan gets involved in everything.
Right.
And then he wants you to develop that attitude. Oh, nothing matters. There's
Right.
a lot to do. Don't pay attention to that either.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
Amazing. Yes.
Jesse.
Hey, buddy. What's your first name?
Joshua.
Joshua, welcome, man. It's your first time, right?
Yes.
Okay.
From Chicago.
Oh, Chi-Town.
Chi-Town. Chi-Rap.
Oh, Jesse. Juicy Smollett live there.
Juicy. I don't know nothing about that.
You know who he is? You ever heard of Juicy Smollett? The man who said that some white guys put a rope around his neck or something.
Okay.
I call him Juicy.
I don't watch the news, so
Oh, okay.
that's probably why.
You're lucky, man. You're fortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm having a tough time forgiving my mother.
And why?
I feel weak doing that.
You feel weak? What do you mean?
I feel weak because I feel like I'm blaming her by going to forgive her.
You are blaming her.
In my actions?
Yeah, because she did it. So you're going to forgive her for what she did. It's her fault that she did that to you, not your fault. It's your fault if you don't overcome it.
Well, I mean, I grew up, my father left when I was 3.
Yeah.
And my mom raised me. She brought a stepfather into my life.
Horrible.
My stepfather was not a nice man growing up.
Yeah.
And but my mom never taught me to resent my father, my real father.
Yeah. Do you resent him?
My real father?
Yes.
I don't think so. I mean, he was never really around much.
Do you know him?
Yeah. Well, he passed away when I was
Oh, okay.
14.
All right.
I'm 43 now.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, I kind of got over the blame stage. When I was in my 20s, I went through depression. And
Amazing.
I started to meditate. And during that process of meditation, I found God, or God found me, rather.
You haven't found her yet.
Okay.
Because had you found him already, you would have already forgiven your mother. You would have gone to her and dealt with her. You wouldn't be afraid of your mother or anybody.
Well, I don't really feel like I'm angry at her, though,
Then why are you afraid to go and forgive her?
because I don't find anger or resentment in my. When I reflect on her, I don't really. I don't find it. I don't.
But
it's
why
not
did you
there.
say you haven't forgiven your mother yet?
Well, because I've been listening to what you say about forgiving your mother and how she's a big reason of, as to why you're the way you are.
Right. You have to overcome her.
Right.
Yeah.
And I feel like, well, I don't feel like I am a beta male. I'm a weak
Beta!
man. Definitely.
So if you overcome your mother, because it's not the nature of a man to be weak. Men are not weak at all.
Okay.
And because they love all people, they speak up, they don't hate, they are light unto the family, unto the world. And so that feeling that you have is that of a woman.
Okay.
So you got to go and forgive her.
Okay. Yeah,
And if she said, you're just blaming me, you said, right on, I am blaming you. But I realize now that you couldn't help it. It's your fault that I'm this way, but it's my fault that I don't overcome it.
See, when I was younger, I used to always be in conflict with, like, my wife and people.
Right.
And I would never find resolution. Like,
Right.
we would always go back and forth, and I would never get it resolved. But I got wisdom from somebody that taught me that when you move beyond the conflict, you let go of the past.
Well, that sounds good, but you're never going to let it go until you forgive. Then you will forget it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that feeling you have now would disappear, and you never have it again.
Okay. Okay.
So you got to face her.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Okay.
Let me know how it goes.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. In the white in the back. Amazing time going by so fast. Yes, sir.
Hello, Jesse.
Hello. What's your name?
Jordan. I came 2 weeks ago, I believe.
Oh, okay. Hey,
Yeah.
Jordan. How are you?
Doing good.
Good, man.
Here today to say that I finally forgave my mother.
Can you come and sit here, Jordan? I can't see you because you're so black. And you sit, and the light in my eyes, you sit behind a black curtain, sit right there.
Is that right?
Yes. Yeah.
Up in the front, okay.
So what happened now?
Oh, that I finally forgave my mother, and that was probably the hardest thing I ever had to do.
And
because it was funny, because I was telling myself, like, on the drive over there, okay, I'm gonna do it. Then the minute I come face to face with her, I'm just like quiet, like, oh wow, I can't do this.
Yeah.
But I kind of felt like she kind of knew that our conversation was going to be like happening.
Yeah.
And life is great. I honestly see a better perspective of life now.
Absolutely.
Like I no longer have like really hate in my heart
That's
anymore
right.
towards like different people, or if I like disagree with them or something. It's more of a forgiving feeling.
Right.
Like very positive. So yeah.
Amazing, man.
Yeah, it's great.
And how about your father? Are you close to your father?
No, I'm actually working on trying to find him right now.
Oh, okay.
So
you don't know where he is?
No, when I was talking to my mom about it, she told me that he got into a bit of trouble back when I was born, like, running from the cops and whatever.
Black people always running from the cops.
Yeah, so.
Hands up, don't shoot. Yeah.
Yeah, so right now we're working on it right now. She said that she's looking up paperwork to
okay.
look for him. So
But in the meantime, just realize he couldn't help himself. Hopefully you will find him.
Yeah.
But if you don't, just know, the fear you had, face your mother, he has the same fear.
Yeah.
Yeah, he couldn't help himself.
Right, and I think if I did come face to face with him, I don't feel like I would ever like show anger or hate
Yeah.
towards him, because you know, like as you get older, like I get it. You know, I mean, it was at a time where he was young. He probably thought that he wasn't ready. So it's understandable.
He couldn't help it, yeah.
Yeah. So
Most fathers love their children, and most adult children don't hate their fathers.
Right.
They are longing for their father, but they call it hate. It's really a need to return to their father. That's what's missing. Right on, man. Amazing.
Yep.
How old are you?
25. Well, just turned 25.
Nice age to be overcoming that.
Yeah.
Give the mic. Anything else?
When I think of something, I'll raise my hand again.
Okay, give it to the young lady right behind you. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Is this your first time here?
Second time.
Any questions for me?
Not at the moment.
I have one for you.
Okay.
Have you ever heard it said that while growing up, that people tell you, oh, nobody's perfect, you can't be perfect.
Oh, absolutely.
Nobody's perfect. You heard that growing up, right? And what did you think about that?
I thought it was true.
You believed it?
Yeah, I believed it.
And why did you believe it?
I guess, well, because it was being told to me, and I believed everything I was told,
Yeah.
basically. But also because the thought of like being perfect just seemed too crazy.
Oh, it did?
And I guess also because I didn't have any examples of anyone who was perfect around me. So I
Right.
thought, well, they must be right. You can't be perfect.
Do you know who made that saying up? I've been trying to ask on the radio, and nobody can tell me where that started. Who made that up?
I have no idea.
Satan.
He did. But somebody made that up, and everybody, are taught the same thing. Oh, you can't be perfect.
Right.
Everybody make mistakes, right? Do you believe that now?
No, I believe that you can be perfect.
You can, really? Oh, good. Right on. Any questions for me, though?
Not at the moment.
Okay, let me talk to the young lady behind you.
Sure.
So basically, that was gonna be my question about perfection
Right.
in a way, because not per se the person, because I don't believe if we're in this dimension, is it in this physical dimension, I don't believe anything is perfect or supposed to be perfect, because the imperfections are the ones that bring the positive things on, or like balance everything in a way, or like make everything grow.
Right.
But sometimes I struggle with the process not being perfect. For example, getting to a point A to point B, let's say, right? And then having that process, feeling like, and I know it's part of the process, but sometimes I don't know how to like differentiate it on, okay, is it this part of the process, or is it something in the process that I'm not seeing, that I'm not aware of, that it's not perfect because it doesn't supposed to be like this?
Right.
Or is it not perfect just because it has to be not perfect?
And when you say get into point A, from point A to point B, give me an example of what you mean by that.
So, talking about my personal experience, since I went out of my house to start in America, I've always been like living in different places.
Right.
Never like have something stable,
Right.
right? Like, okay, like I'm gonna live here and I'm gonna just stay here and build up something. You know,
Right.
have a dog or have a cat, and I'm always like just living in different places. And that has been good in the timing, but now it's feeling kind of like, what is the point in a way,
Right.
right? Like it's getting into my head, like I'm tired of this. I just want a stable, like something stable.
Right.
And the only stable thing that I have right now, it's living with my mom back in Ecuador. And I don't like that because I love her, but we have this personality that doesn't match, and it's just conflicting within my life.
Yeah.
If I live with her, I love her from the distance, but living with her, it's kind of
I don't
difficult.
blame you.
Yeah, so I have to kind of like find my own stability, right? I don't have a visa to live here, and so like I need to find somewhere else. I apply for a college, and I say, okay, this is my point A right now, like figuring out something. My
Right.
point B is going to college in Spain and maybe like seeing what happens there. But it's like I don't know if that's how it is supposed to be, or what is it. Like the point B will be stability, right? Point A right now it's instability. Point
Right.
B will be like living somewhere like stable.
This is so good. Really good question. Joel want to respond first. And then this is so good. I understand. How old are you?
25.
Okay, perfect age.
I'm still kind of trying to
So right
understand.
now growing up, she moved to a lot of different places. Now she's at a point where she want to stabilize. She doesn't want to keep moving. And so right now she's living with her mother, and they're not getting along. And plus she want to live on, move on. So she want to know how to start, how to do that. How to go and just do it. Why are you looking crazy? You looking just.
I'm not quite sure to give a confident answer, to be
Oh,
honest.
okay. James, can you respond to that?
I don't think so.
How about you, Esteban? These are beta males.
And I would say to just do it, to just kind of move out, and then it starts happening like, once you make this decision to like move, it kind of starts happening on its own. You find a job, and then everything just kind of falls into place once you decide to like start doing it.
Yeah, but being like, for example, if I just move here, I won't be able to get a job because I'm not an American. And if I go to, and I don't want to do things illegally either.
Right.
Because that's not the way you should.
Especially with Trump in office. They're
Yeah,
gonna come by and
like
pick
either
you
Trump
up.
or not Trump, like it's just not, it doesn't make
Right.
sense. It doesn't,
Yeah.
it's not about Trump, it just doesn't make sense for me.
Go ahead. He's giving you good advice, but I'll add to it in a minute.
Yeah.
Go
So
ahead.
I don't know, like the visa situation, like working, because Ecuadorians don't have too much, like, Americans do, and I understand how Americans think this way of like, oh, you just move and go, and because you guys have that ability
Right.
to move and go wherever you guys want to go and
Where you
find a
from?
job.
Where you live?
Ecuador.
Oh, okay.
So in my country, like if you go to another country, you will need to apply for a visa. You will need to do these things.
Right.
So.
I'm sure there's ways if you talk to like a immigration lawyer or whatever, they can maybe find different ways. It's gonna take some time, but I'm sure that if you start moving towards it, that God is gonna make a way. You might find a way. There's different types of visas. There's one where like you can get married within like 90 days.
Don't suggest marriage.
No, there's different ways.
Find
I'm
you
just saying.
somebody
Like,
and marry them.
no, there's different types of visas that you can go for.
He's just playing. He's funny. Let James have the mic.
Okay, never mind. I don't know.
Oh, you had your hand?
I did it first because I wanted to clarify that I wasn't sure
Oh, okay.
where she was listening.
So let me tell you this. The first thing you need to do is to forgive your mother because she has recreated you in her image. And so you're not yourself. So you're fortunate in that you're still living with her so that you can do that. You need to deal with her, realize she can't help herself. Then you will become yourself and then get a job and move out in a little place, in a little one room or something, right? And work and save your money and do the silent prayer, and one thing will lead to another one. And if it's your heart desire to be in America, it will happen. It will just happen like magic. That's a bad word for it, but it's that easy. But you got to do one step at a time, and that you must forgive so you can see your way out, and you will have the confidence. You won't have fear about anything. But one step at a time. Don't be in a rush to get to America. Deal with where you are and have a good attitude about that.
I think it's mostly fear, the fear of trusting. It's trust and fear, trusting that will whatever.
Well, once you
will
forgive your
gain.
mother, you would never have fear again, because in God, in love, there is no fear. And so you wouldn't be afraid in the next step, and the next step would just happen for you. I thought that's what Esteban was going to tell you, because he lived with his mother for a while before moving here. And the thing that he did, he forgave his mother first. He dealt with her, right? Then he moved here, and everything just been unfolded for him, been amazing. Likewise, God love you, but you got to wake up. You got to overcome the fear and the doubt and all that, and take one step at a time. Don't compare yourself to anyone else. Don't try to be like someone else who came here or whatever, right? Just one step at a time. And it will just unfold for you. But you got to forgive your mother while you're there so you can move forward. What do you think about that?
I think it's difficult.
It's difficult?
I think I forgive her, but just going back and living with her again was triggering in many ways, and it just keeps longing. And I try to like understand, because it's like loving somebody is understanding and taking them.
You don't love her yet.
Yeah, I don't. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
I don't have that understanding. And
But if you see that you can't help yourself, you have all this doubt and fear and all that, right? Well, your mother have the same thing. She can't help herself. So the way she's treating you is wrong, but she can't help it. Get to know yourself, and you will see that you can't help yourself, and likewise, your mother can't help herself. And so just say, hey, I'm sorry for being angry at you, or hating you because you're a bad person. You know what I'm saying? I realize you can't help it. And if she get mad, fine, go to your room. If she accepts it, fine, go to your room. If she lay down and die, fine, keep the house, throw her out. But you got to forgive her so you could be free within. Then your life will start to open up. And forgiving your mother would be the hardest thing you will ever have to do. You would never know fear again. As he was just saying, it's the hardest thing you ever have to do. And Satan would tell you not to. Oh, you got to hurt her feelings, or she did her bad and all that. Don't listen to that. But you got to face her while you're there, so when you leave, you would never have to worry about that again. So you're fortunate.
yeah, maybe.
And so it doesn't matter where you live, as long as God is guiding you, He will open up opportunities. He will make things happen on your behalf. It'll be easy. But you gotta, and don't worry about point A and point B and all that stuff. All you have is right now. So you use what you have. You gotta forgive. And then you can move forward.
Yeah,
What do you think?
That it's true.
Yeah. And keep it very basic and simple. Just live your life.
Yeah.
And if it's in your heart to come to America, it will happen. Because you will become his daughter, and he will take care of you.
And I think that's what I like about what you said about being in your mind all
Yes.
the time, because I think I'm an overthinker.
Right.
And those overthings, like thinking again, like everything,
Right.
like my future, my past, my present, thinking those things is just, it makes sense how.
And it's not you that's doing the thinking, and it's not from God. It's Satan is thinking, and he pretend to be you. He sound like you, he walk like you, and you think it's you, but it's the spirit that made a home in you, and it's not you. So that's why you got to start doubting that. Let it pass. Don't listen to it at all, because he will cause you to have a hard life, and he gets involved in everything. So that's not you in the head doing all that thinking. That's him. All right?
Yeah,
So
thank you.
whenever he tell you this or that, let it pass, no matter what it is. That makes sense?
Yeah, it does.
Are you doing the silent prayer video?
What, sorry?
Are you doing my silent prayer? You know about it?
No.
Oh,
This is
okay.
the first time I come, and I haven't seen that. I just knew that this was going to be live stream and everything.
How did you find out about us?
Oh, my friend told us.
Oh, okay.
And well, he's my boyfriend.
I was
so-
going to say, that's your boyfriend?
Yeah.
I was going to say, look like you sitting closer to the black man than the white man. If you with him. And so, have you, Will never told you about the silent prayer?
Oh, no.
Why
I just
not, Will?
came. I just came.
Neither one of these guys told you about it?
Well, we just told her yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, your name. Yeah. First day. We didn't have time to talk about you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's not about you.
So you're her boyfriend?
Yeah. No,
Uh,
she's my girlfriend.
But you're not her boyfriend?
I'm her boyfriend, but she's my girlfriend.
Huh? She's your girlfriend, but you're not her boyfriend? Oh. So how you doing, Will? Where you been? I mean,
Dathan, yeah. Don't ever. That name doesn't belong to me.
all right. How you doing?
Good.
Where have you been?
How's
everything
everywhere.
going?
I was going to some other church. Or I've been going to. I moved to the Valley.
Oh, yeah.
I was
Oh,
living in
okay.
Ventura for a while.
How are the kids?
They're good. Yeah.
You're not sure?
Yeah, they're good. They're
They are?
kids.
How old are they now?
They're teenagers, that's why.
Oh, how old are they?
My oldest is about to be 17, no, he's 17 now. His
Right.
birthday was the 27th. And then my daughter is going to be 14,
Yeah.
and then my youngest is 11.
Well, I'm not trying to break you guys up, but
You know what?
why are you getting involved with a woman right now? Your kids need you.
Because she's awesome.
She's awesome.
No, my kids?
Why are you getting involved?
Because
not that I'm trying to
I'm
break you
dealing
up.
with
You
my
can
kids.
suffer. But why are you getting involved knowing that your kids need you right now?
Well, I'm dealing with my kids.
Well, they don't need anyone between them.
What do you mean?
They don't need a step parent or anything like that. They need all of your attention.
Yeah, but they've been getting my attention, and
They're not getting all of
haven't- Yeah, but they rejected me. So what am I supposed to do?
They
about
rejected you?
that? Yeah,
What do you mean?
like their mom. Well, I took them to church one time, and then after I took them to church, their mom told me that they don't want to come be with me anymore because I took them to church, and so I've been calling and telling them, hey, you guys want to come with me? And she's like, no, they don't want to come with you. So
Did you talk to them?
yeah, I spoke.
And they said no?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They said, no, I don't want to go with you. And I said, are you sure? And they said, yeah. Their mom told them something. I don't know what she told them, but she was telling them something.
Yeah.
And even my youngest son, he wanted to come with me, but he was like, I don't know if he was talking to his mom or something, because he was
Right.
on the phone, and I said, oh, how you doing? I love you. I miss you. I want to hang out with you. And he's like, and I said, oh, do you want to hang out with me? And then he said, and I could tell he was like trying to get a response from somebody. And he said, no, thank you. No, thank you.
So you should go and pick them up anyway. You don't have to take them to church. There are other places you can take them.
No, but what I'm saying is I go to pick them up and they don't come, like, because they said, oh, that's just an excuse. The church is an excuse.
Right.
Because their mom is in a situation where she's trying to,
I
she does this multiple, it's not nothing new, it's just a cycle of, it
And so
happens.
you go to the house to pick them up and they
Yeah.
won't come and get in the car?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, but it happened, it's been happening multiple times.
Yeah.
So it's not like she just came and it's happened before.
Well, I'm not blaming her, I'm blaming you
For what?
for that.
For that happening?
I mean, for getting involved with someone at this point.
This point was this point.
Right now.
And then,
But no,
A
I'm
point-
just
but a
wondering.
point
I'm
of
just.
what?
I know you know better, and so something happens to guys who are waking up. They're like, "Oh, I'm alpha male. I'm alpha male, right?" And I don't know if this happened to you or not.
yeah.
And then once they meet a woman, they lose it. They go back beta for some reason. I don't know what that. We're gonna have a meeting Thursday night. We're gonna deal with it. But something happened when they meet the woman. They don't do it the right way. But we're having a meeting Thursday night, our men's forum, and we'll deal with that, so y'all can be honest. We won't talk about it now. All right. Okay, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anybody just right here?
Yeah.
The one thing I want you guys to know is that women and children really need you. And once you are born again of God, He's going to guide you so that He'll draw your family back to you, your kids and stuff like that. Even if the wife doesn't come back or the woman, the kids will come back to you. He'll bring your kids back to you. But you got to be right and do right for that to happen. You can't pretend. And the world needs men right now. That's why everything is falling apart. Because men are not really men. They're pretending, but not the real deal. The world really needs you. Yes, sir.
Yeah, just like for him and stuff, like when that was like the hardest thing growing up is having a step parent.
Yeah.
I had a stepmom, and I realized recently that her being there ruined the relationship between me and my dad.
Yeah.
And it had a really negative effect on me and my brothers. They don't even have like a really good relationship with my dad, but we like hated our stepmom growing up. We didn't want her, you know what I mean?
that's
She
right.
got in the way of us having a relationship with our dad.
I was talking to someone yesterday, and they told me that they went to visit the stepmother, I guess, recently. And this person is an adult now. And the stepmother was talking about the past. He was like, oh, I taught you to swim and all that, right? And he didn't even remember any of that. The only thing he remembered is not wanting her there with his father. He just wanted his mother and father, right, not a step-parent.
Yeah.
And she was like, wow, I didn't know you remember that. He didn't remember anything good about her at all.
Yeah.
And I guess she was trying to do right, but
Yeah.
the kids want their real parents.
Exactly,
They're so
yeah.
yearn for the real parent. It's just the
Yeah.
way it is.
Yeah, we had a lot of anger growing up, and we didn't really know why we hated her or what. But now, you know, after coming to you and listening to you and stuff like that, I already forgave her. So like my relationship with her is as good as it's ever been.
Right
I forgave
on.
my father. Like my relationship's good with him too now. But we had a lot of anger growing up, and we didn't want her there. We just it would have been better just us and our dad.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But he was
Absolutely.
weak. My dad was a weak
Yeah.
person. So
My stepfather was a nice man. You know, he tried to show me love, I guess, but I didn't accept it either.
no.
My soul yearned for my father.
Yeah.
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 Amazing.
Yeah.
So.
The earrings are gone, man. They're gone. Yeah.
So what is like not putting your earrings on anymore?
I don't even notice. I don't know.
Oh,
It's
right
nothing.
on.
Yeah.
So you don't reach for them. You're like, no, I can't take them.
No, they're gone. I don't even think about them. Yeah.
Do you miss not doing this in the
A
morning?
little bit. Yeah, a little bit. I'm like, no, I can't put them in. Yeah, but
Good,
everything's
man.
been going good, man.
Right
Doing your
on.
silent prayer like 2 or 3 times a day.
Yeah.
And that helps me a lot. Like we all go through the same stuff. Is like those thoughts in our
It's the
head.
same spirit, I'm telling
Yeah,
you. No
yeah.
matter where you live, it's the same spirit.
Yeah. So your silent prayer just brings you back to now
Yeah.
instead of getting stuck in your head. So
That's
I
right.
recommend it for everybody. It really does help you. Like, when you're going throughout the day, those thoughts might come in, or that fear or something might come in, but it just brings you back to the present
That's
moment
right,
and
man.
living now. Yeah.
And when it comes, if you're caught in a thought and you're feeling this way, just relax.
Yeah.
And it'll pass.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It works great. Yeah. Everything's been going good.
Good, man.
Yeah.
How's things going for you? Right behind you.
Not good.
Not good?
No.
What's going on now?
A lot, honestly.
Like what, for example? She speak English? No English?
I just don't like talking about it.
If you don't want to, you don't have to.
Yeah, no, it's
I
just.
just know
it's-
you're going through some stuff. You mentioned last time you were here.
Yeah, no, my mom's just trying to like have a relationship with me and like trying to make me feel bad, saying she's sick. But then I received like another lawsuit for something like random, and they just keep lying and making up all these things.
Right.
But they're trying to like talk to me at the same time and be like sneaky with the lawsuits. So I'm just like kind of stressed out with it.
Why don't you just ignore them? Don't let them impose on you.
Yeah,
It's not a big deal. Just ignore them.
But my mom sends me pictures of like her cancers.
Send them back to her. Say no thanks. Really, you have to be tough.
It's hard though, and then I see, and
It's
and then
only
I get,
hard because you're not doing it. You're weakening yourself rather than building strength by doing it.
it's just it's hard though because it's like I keep getting lawsuits, and it's like
Do you have an attorney?
yeah, I do.
Well, let your lawyer handle that.
It's
So what's hard about that?
it's just like knowing that I'm gonna get like my house taken away from me.
But you
at
don't know
some
that
point.
yet. Don't live anything before it happens.
Yeah,
So you don't know that. Satan is telling you that. You don't know that. It's not over yet.
yeah.
So what?
just
See,
hard.
that's not hard, right?
It's just like my whole like family. Like I just feel like I have no family anymore.
You don't. So accept that. You're not the only one.
I do
None
have
of
a
us have a
father.
family. That's why you have to create your own family.
She has her father.
Yeah, I have
Oh, your
I have a
father's
really
helping you?
good dad. I have a really
So
really good
relax
dad.
then.
But my mom, but they're vicious. Like my other side, they're just crazy.
That's fun, right? You're dealing with some vicious people. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
That's okay. God is with you.
Yeah.
Stay out of your head.
I'm trying.
Relax.
Yeah.
Smoke a joint. No, don't smoke a joint. But relax. You listen to the devil, that's why.
Yeah.
They keep wanting to meet her for lunch and make a new negotiation, some new agreement, and
No,
I've
just tell them
I've
no.
said absolutely not. Do
That's
not
right.
meet up with them, but she's very tempted to.
No, don't. Just say,
keep
no, I don't
sending
want
me
to ever see you again. Stay away.
And then they hit me with the lawsuits.
Give it to your attorney, let him handle it.
So just ignore my face. Just ignore.
100%. Block them on your phone.
Okay.
Don't they have some on the phone where you could block?
She doesn't want to block them.
Block them. You love pain?
No.
Well, then
I feel
block 'em.
bad. I feel bad.
Beta female. So they're killing you and you're feeling bad.
Yeah.
They don't care about you, it sounds.
Yeah.
You got to learn to stand up for yourself.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Let me ask the young man next to you, Dalla. Right there. Yes, sir. This your first time here?
I came one evening, maybe a year and a half ago.
Oh, to a men's meeting?
Something like that. I think it was
Oh,
a
okay.
debate on the stage or something.
Oh, how are things going for you?
They've been wild.
I'm sorry?
Wild.
In what way?
Just been traveling a lot. Went up to Portland.
Are you having an amazing life?
Yes.
Oh, so you're doing fine.
Well, I trust in the Lord, so I guess I'm doing fine.
Oh, Lord. I trust the Lord, but I guess I'm doing fine. If you trust the Lord, you would know you're doing fine.
It's true.
So do you trust him?
I do trust him.
Oh, okay. I got to ask this young man something. Then I need Joel and a white person. Are you white?
I guess that's Latin.
You're not sure?
No, I'm Latin.
You're not sure?
Well, no, I'm not sure. I don't.
You might be white and don't know it.
I mean, I have German.
Oh, Lord. You white, right? Uh-huh. You sure? Oh, okay. All right. So this your first time here?
Second. I'm Bub's Love. We met a couple times.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. You guys moved here, right?
Yes, sir.
How's that going?
Amazing.
Amazing.
Yes.
Welcome to LA, man.
Thank you.
That's something else. So are you able to come up here for a minute?
Come up to the stage?
Yeah. And Joel, you here?
Okay. This is fun.
I want to show you the experiment that I had the other day. It was so amazing. Yes. I'm going to do this really fast and then we're going to end it. So, what's your first name?
Gretchen.
Gretchen, stand here for me? Okay. And I don't want you to move, all right?
Okay.
And then, Joel, when I tell this story, I want you to be whispering to me.
Okay.
You don't have to be saying words, but act like it. And don't spit in my ear.
I'm getting excited.
So I was flipping through the TV channel there, and I read upon, I think it's Open Network, OWN or something like that, right? And they have this show on, and the setting is out of Louisiana. I forgot the name of the show, but it's recorded in Louisiana. And so I'm watching this show, and every evil thing that you can think of was being promoted. Every evil thing was being promoted in this TV show. They have look like a 12 or 13-year-old boy playing with dolls. He may be a little younger, but he played with dolls. His father and mother gave him dolls to play with. They have a scene in there where a woman is a lesbian, a black lesbian. One of the ladies is running for councilor in some other city in New Orleans, and she's running against a white guy. And so it looked like the white guy was going to beat her. She convinced the white guy to deliberately lose what do you call that when someone deliberately lose a race? Yeah, throw it. And the way she convinced him to do it, she said, well, you know what black people have gone through in this society, in America, and it's something like it's time for black people to do it. And she made him feel so guilty. And she had some information that someone had found, and I guess in the information it said that way back when, his grandmother was black. And so the guy used that information, held a press conference and said, well, I have to step down because it's just not fair because my grandmother, great-great-great-great-grandmother was black. I was like, well, how are you going to believe something like that? And he is white as snow. And then so they have a lesbian. They have men and women who are living together without marriage. They're just promoting everything, right? And so I'm sitting here, and this is about how not to judge, to resist the devil, right? So I'm sitting there watching this, right, and whispering. And so Satan whispered in my ear to judge them. like to just hate him, just judge him for it. And I'm watching it, and God standing on my right, and it was amazing to experience. Okay, say, saying it too loud, and he's like whispering. And so I want to bring that point to you because in watching other people, watching movies, you may hear your friends or somebody maybe still be doing what you think is wrong. Satan would tempt you to judge them, let it pass. He will talk to you and it sounds like you. And yes, they are doing wrong because that movie is all screwed up, all wrong. They promoted everything that's wrong. They even wear the African hair stuff, right? And I could not judge them. I saw that it was wrong, but I couldn't hate them for it. They are really promoted, and that's going to hurt the black community even more so because it's a black movie. And I want you to know this because when you're out and about or you have your family members or your friends, you're going to see where they're wrong. They're going to be doing crazy stuff, but resist the temptation to judge them for it. It's enough to see it, and God will allow you to see it. And if you don't judge, you see the next thing to do. You grow rather than it overtaking you. So we all come from sin. Once you're born again, you come from that place. So you have no right to judge somebody in a fallen state. They can't help it. That doesn't mean you accept it. Don't accept a wrong as a right. And then this movie is all emotional, so it tries to draw you in, right? And it's just all messed up. So pay attention to Satan talking to you and let him pass. Even if the situation look like what he's saying, oh, this is wrong, because he know now you want what's right. Oh, this is wrong, that's wrong. Don't judge, don't hate. That make sense? Does that make sense? Thank you, God. Get out of here, Satan. Get behind me. And so when you resist it, I'm telling you, when you can see it, but don't hold on to it. Like with your husband and his family, don't judge them. You see how screwed up they are. You don't agree with them, but you are as bad as they are the moment you judge them for it. You're no different. That makes sense? And so God wants to protect you by allowing you to see, but he doesn't want Satan to overtake you by causing you to hate. And he's always trying to tempt you. And eventually, his voice is going to get way away from you. And it won't be an issue at all. He's getting away from you. The more you watch, we're supposed to observe. We're not supposed to judge. And not accept. And not accepting it is where your strength is. Speak up, but don't hate. That makes sense? Was that a good example? Yes. Was Joel a good devil? Yeah, I got an answer. I'll tell you here first, here, and right here. And then nobody else. Suffer. Did you have a question for me or anything?
I mean, I was really into your question this week on the radio. Why do white people allow their enemies to destroy them? So I was hoping you covered that today because it was a fantastic question.
Why do you think they do that?
I mean, we just had a situation. I put a song out called More White Babies and got disowned by my family.
Right on. That means that it's working.
Yeah, and then this week, Gretchen's family just went crazy on us and disowned us pretty much. So
well, God said that he did not come to unite, but to divide. Did you know that?
Yes.
He came to divide fathers and kids and wives and mamas and everybody because most people are not going to be drawn into the kingdom. Right. And your real family are those who have truly been born again and are living it, your spiritual family. So you're blessed that that's happening.
Absolutely, yeah. It was like seeing Gretchen kind of be tormented at first and me just like feeling like, wow, this is a blessing because we can see.
That's right.
What they really think about us, and so yeah, it was really a blessing. And then I just watched her day by day, like feel the freedom, just because I wasn't trying to tell her what to do, I was just living it.
Right on.
And yeah, she and I were laughing about it yesterday.
Right on.
Just seeing that journey.
Gretchen, how you feel about all that's happening to you right now?
Now it's very laughable. I see like the humor in it.
Right.
My family called me racist, and they truly believe that I'm a racist, which is
Is
just...
your family white?
Yes, yeah.
They call a white daughter racist?
Yeah, and that's why it's so funny.
That's amazing.
It is. So yeah, I just think it's hysterical.
Why
but-
do you think white people are helping their enemies to destroy them?
I mean, in the case of my family, I think it has a lot to do with like virtue signaling, just wanting to show that, you know, I'm a good person and I love everybody, when in reality, they obviously don't. But yeah, I think it has a lot to do with just wanting to present yourself as like, I'm a good person and I'm not a racist, I don't hate anyone. And
But don't they see that the people that they are appeasing hate them even more so?
I don't think.
Do white
I
people
don't
know that
think
they're
so.
hated?
I don't think they see it.
You don't think they know that they're hated?
I don't. Yeah. I
Well,
don't.
tell them to listen to the show.
Yeah.
Oh, let me just ask in the gray shirt, you're white, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know that you're hated because you're white?
You've asked me this before.
I did?
I see it.
All white people look alike to me.
I've gotten hate from all kinds of people my entire life, so I just learned early on to not care at all.
But you do recognize you're
But
hated,
the white people on the Democrat side, I don't think they see it.
They don't see that they're hated?
No, I don't think so. Or else they wouldn't be on that side, I don't think.
And so you stand up for yourself, you don't try to appease
Yeah.
them?
No.
Oh, good, man.
No, I just think it's all funny.
Let
More
me
white
just-
babies.
That's right, white babies. You want to respond to that?
Respond to white people.
Oh, okay. Real fast, folks. I got it in. They were looking at me.
I
Time
would say,
is up.
I would say it's
Oh, yeah.
because white people have fallen away from God, so they don't stand up for what's right now.
Absolutely.
All white liberals, they're not standing up for what's right. And then you have on the right, you have, you know, the guys who hate Jews and all this other
Yeah.
stuff, and they don't stand up for what's right either because they've fallen away from God, and they both have hate, just
You're absolutely
in a
right.
different
They're
way.
falling away from God. And when I first realized it, I was like, wow, that's why whites don't stand up.
Yeah.
Because when I was growing up, white people stood up for themselves. And if you're wrong, you're wrong. If you're right, you're right.
Yeah.
And they don't do that anymore. It's like they're going along to think that they're going to be able to get along. It's never going to work.
Yeah,
you have
they're-
to be
they're
right
afraid.
and do right.
They're afraid now.
Yeah.
They have that fear. They don't stand
You're
by
absolutely
anything
right.
that's right.
That's why they don't believe in God anymore.
Yeah.
They believe about him, but not in him. And once these people destroy the white man, because if you notice, more and more white women are having babies out of wedlock. And so they try to demoralize you, and the way they do it is to get rid of that man. That's what they did to the blacks. They got rid of the man. When you get rid of the man, you get rid of God. And so they're working hard now to get rid of the white man. Once they do that, it's over. It's all over. It's so unfortunate, too, because once that happens, it's over for America. Because the men of color, they ain't going to stand up for nothing. You know what I'm saying? The woman is being pushed in the black community. She's been made the hero. And there's no way her ego is going to allow her to give that up. And right now, the men are not strong enough to take the power, so-called power back.
Yes. Do you think that the civil rights movement, do you think it had a negative effect or a positive effect?
Negative.
Negative. I started thinking about that recently, and I'm like, I think it had a negative effect on it's only gone downhill since then, I think.
Yeah, they have
You
not
know?
recovered since the civil rights movement.
Yeah.
It should have never happened. Because men and women, human beings would come together naturally. You know?
Yeah.
If you serve God, you're going to come. It doesn't matter about the color. If you're of Satan, you'll get together with your folks. It doesn't matter about the color.
Yeah.
Had they left that alone, we'd be a better American today.
Yeah, I agree.
Much better.
I agree with that. Yeah.
The young man, did you have your hair real fast? Yes.
So I was at Transvestite Story Hour yesterday in Dunn Orange County.
Were you for real?
And I hated it.
Did
And,
they make you go or something?
No, I went to see what was going on in my county.
Yeah.
And I did not hate the people there. I preached to them repentance, but I did make it clear that there's a time for hate, and that
No.
I hated what I saw.
There's never time to hate.
And I quoted
Hey.
I quoted the scripture that
Can you hear
says a
me?
time for love and a time for hate.
There's
Ecclesiastes 3:8.
There's never time to hate. And when God mentions hate, I guess you read it in the Bible, right? It means don't hate. It means to love, right? It means not to accept. You don't accept it. But if you hate it, you'll find yourself every Friday you're going to end up at a drag queen. And otherwise, you're going to be at the party. Right here. And then I got to end. But don't hate. Speak up, but don't hate.
Yeah, if God doesn't hate, then why should we?
You can't. It's not in his nature. Yeah. Yes.
I wrote a new song.
You wrote a new song?
Yes.
Oh, let me do this first. Oh, you want to sing it or give it to me?
No, I just wanted to give it to you.
Oh, okay. All right.
That was it. That's all I had
Oh,
to say.
okay. Paul, how's things going?
They're going pretty good.
And how old are you now?
19.
What have you learned about life since I last saw you?
Jesus Christ. Full of mistakes.
I'm sorry?
Full of mistakes.
Full of mistakes, like what, for example?
The stuff you do out of spite.
That you do out of spite? What do you mean?
I don't know anymore. I don't do it anymore, but
Right, of course.
I'm just relaxed right now.
And so, what have you learned about life?
About life,
Yeah,
not to take it as serious.
and
Enjoy.
are you still with that lady?
Yeah, I'm still with that lady.
You still with her?
Yeah,
Are you living with her?
we live together.
Are you married to her?
No,
Why are you living with her? You haven't learned that much.
we're best friends right now.
Oh, that was somebody else just said.
We're living together in Arizona. We got our
It's-
own place.
Are you sleeping with her too?
No.
You don't do that, do?
No.
But why don't you get your own place?
School. We're just sharing right now. We're trying to build off each other.
No, build off God. You have to lead her. You can't be building off her because she'll own you.
So leave her.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's what
What?
the plan initially was, to go off on my own anyways.
What's holding you back?
Nothing. Just school right now, actually.
Well, how old are you?
19.
Why aren't you out of school?
Because what I want to do, I have to get
Are
20.
you in college?
Not yet.
Are you still in high school?
No.
What type of school? Prison school?
No, I'm going to be starting college because I want to get 20 college credits so I can go into the Marines.
Oh, I see. And get a job. Get a job.
I do have a job.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad to see you, man.
Glad to see you too, Jesse.
Yeah, I'll talk to you in private so I can hear the real story. Because I'm not getting the whole story right now. But anyway, we got to end. I do want to say next Sunday, I let stuff come up. I don't know what's going to happen, right? But I want to talk to you about Christian behavior. It's a mess. And it seems as though those who read the Bible and know the Bible and can quote the Bible, it's even worse with them. It really is. So it needs to be dealt with, all right? So if I forget, ask me about Christian behavior, and especially the Bible thumpers. All right? I don't have time to get into it now, but definitely want to deal with it. Yes. Come right here, real fast. He just had one little quick question.
When is the next straight parade?
Oh.
I want to attend that one. I saw it on YouTube. I was like, dang, I should have been there.
We had
I've
our
been so
first
down to go.
street pride parade last weekend in Modesto, California. It was amazing.
Yeah, so when's the next one?
I guess next year. Yeah, they put it on. There is one coming up in Massachusetts. I'm not a part of that one.
That was yesterday.
Oh, they had it?
Yeah.
Oh, how did it go?
Antifa rioted.
Yeah, they showed up at ours too, so, yeah. When they showed up, all these fat lesbians came, and they're like fat from the head to the toe. I'm like, fat lesbian! And then they would come over, like yelling. I'm like, why are you so fat? What's wrong? How can I help you? It was so much fun. If you don't have anger, when those people show up, you see the perfect way to deal with them. And they don't know what to do if they can't get you angry. They literally go nuts if they can't get something from you. It's amazing. Did you have your hand?
Yes.
So I don't know when the next one's going to be, man.
This is really great.
Yeah.
Because I was wondering, when is the time where an individual, not talking about a collective consciousness, but like an individual will be like never hating or never having resentment? Like, is that even possible in
Absolutely.
this conscious level, like in this material world?
What's going to happen when you really get to know yourself and see that of yourself you could do nothing, of yourself you know nothing. And you see that it's not you in charge. It's if you serve God, He's in charge of your life. If you serve Satan, He's in charge of your life. Once you get to know that about yourself, that will cause you to forgive, and you will wake up. And in waking up, there is no anger, no fear, no doubt, no worry, no insecurity. It's perfect love, and you will always have that. Because once you wake up, you can't go back to sleep. You will become aware. Your mind will be renewed. And God will give you His mind.
So what do you think about perfection then?
Who?
Perfection.
I don't like Him very much.
Like perfect, like behaviors or perfect thoughts about things around you.
No such thing as perfect thoughts.
Yeah.
You will see the right thing to do. And you, I guess perfection means to do it yourself, right? To perfect yourself. You can't make yourself better. Only God can do that. Now, if you have a job, and you can get better on the job by learning physical stuff, right? But as far as a human being, there's nothing you can do. But He will make you better from within.
So you will say that it's like a mixture between like your physical body with your spiritual like connection.
Yes.
That makes the perfect mixture in a way
As
in
he
this
is-
world.
See, your spirit, the real spirit, is God's spirit in you. You were made a little bit from Him, right?
Yeah.
And so when you return to Him, He's going to perfect that. He's
Yeah.
going to make you perfect within. And when the spirit is perfect, it will renew the body, the
Okay.
physical body.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever the spirit is what the body will become.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yeah, that makes
But
sense.
you can't do it yourself.
Yeah.
You have to. He will do it for you.
Yeah.
All right. Good question. Right on. Yes, sir. Nobody else raise your hand.
It's going back to the whole thing of Satan's voice.
Speak up a little bit.
It's going back to the whole thing of Satan talking in your head.
Yes.
And I don't know if other people have experienced this, but with me, he's like very devious, and he'll even tell me like to do the right thing, just so I could do the opposite. And then I'm like, because I doubted him, but he actually told me to do the right thing, but he told it to me so I could do the opposite, because he knows I'm not doing what he tells me. So it's like, how would I?
Give me an example of what you mean.
Like, for example, when I'm doing a delivery, like something like, I'll think about like, I should check my trailer if there's still another box for this place. And that's my mind, right? My mind's telling me, check the trailer.
Right,
So,
yeah.
So then I'm like, nah, you're just tricking me. So I'm doubting, I'm gonna doubt it. But then there was a box there. So you get me?
So he said you left a box
He
behind.
set me up pretty much.
He did.
I mean, that's what I think. Because in my mind, he told me the correct thing.
Right.
But since I'm doubting everything that my mind is telling me, and he knows that,
And so did you leave the box behind?
no, I took it with me.
Oh,
So
okay.
then I had to return it again.
Here's what I don't quite know. I think I may know what you're talking about, but just be aware of him. And if you find yourself going and checking, because I used to do that when I first woke up, I would go to the post office and I would open the box and take all the mail out, and then I'll look in to make sure nothing's there. And then walking away from the box, you say, oh, you left some mail in the box. Or you did not lock it back.
Something like
And
that.
then
yeah.
I would go and check the box again, and nothing is there, right? And then I'll kick it to make sure I locked it.
No, but
But
say,
allow that to happen, but don't be frustrated by it or anything. And you
No, but
soon
say-
you would know his voice, and after a while, it'll be fine. You'll be conscious so you won't leave anything behind.
okay, but like, for example, right there, for example, if you did leave it open, but you had doubted that thought, and you left it open because you doubted the thought.
Had I left it open, they would have closed it.
Oh, okay.
Like if you left the box, somebody will find it. You know, don't worry about it.
So
But-
even if the thought tries to tell you to do something good, still doubt it.
Yeah, doubt all thoughts.
Okay.
Because To believe any thoughts shows a lack of faith in God. Because Satan talked to you, God revealed to you. That's why he said his voice is a quiet, voiceless voice. He will reveal it to you.
Okay. Yeah,
But if you
because
find yourself going back, don't worry about it.
yeah, 'cause I feel that he's like putting like times 10 more effort to try and keep me asleep.
Yeah.
Because I
Are
think
you doing
that
the silent prayer?
I try to. It's because I work at night.
So you're not doing it?
So sometimes I'm not.
You're not doing it? Well,
sometimes.
suffer.
Sometimes.
Suffer.
It's because I work at night.
Well, you
so
can do it in the morning before you go to bed.
okay.
It doesn't, if you work at night, I mean, Lottie said do it in the morning before you go to bed. 5 or 10 minutes is better than nothing. And then when you wake up, 5 or 10 minutes and go your way. And just be
it's-
aware.
I feel that sometimes also like he's like, not right now, maybe later, maybe later.
Yeah, that's him. He
Because
doesn't.
I can't sleep on
The last thing he
command.
want you to do is to just be quiet and let God take over. That's the last thing, because he wants to control you.
Yeah, like I feel like he's like revving up because
Yeah.
I not only like I make music and like I've forgiven my parents and everything, and I got the Amazon job and this job they not only they let me work 2 shifts, so
Right on.
I was very fortunate to find the job.
Right on.
And I feel that he's just trying his best to.
And just watch him. He wants you to doubt.
Okay.
Just resist that.
All right.
And then just take it easy. It'll work out.
All right.
All right.
Got it.
So I gotta end. Isn't that amazing? I do want to.
Remember last week, you answered last week's biblical question, but we cut it off, so the people didn't get it.
And they will think I remember now. What was the question? I don't remember last week's question.
What does God think of you?
Oh, he loves us. Even in that fallen state, he just doesn't love you as you are. He loves, just think about this. He loved us so much. He created his only begotten son. This guy came, took on everything that we imagine that we have to do, and he turned everything around. So in reality, everything is already done. You just need to come out of your head, and then you live on earth in paradise. He loves us. And so, and I want that to be known, because Satan caused you to have misery and doubt and worry and fear and insecurity. God never does that to you. He never punishes you or anything. He loves us enough not to even punish us, because he knows why you're in that fallen state, and he understands what you're going to do in that fallen state. All he needs for you to do is admit you're wrong, and he'll bring you back. He loves us. He really, and the love is something that is amazing. You can't taste it, you can't touch it, and it grows. You grow, your life gets better, everything just worked out. But he loves us very, very much. He doesn't cause you pain. He doesn't make you suffer. Christ has already done that. And everything is back to normal. It's just that you got to repent, be born again, so you can see that. Paradise is right here on earth. It's above too, but while you live, you can have paradise right here on earth. Isn't that amazing? You don't have to be going through all this stuff you're going through. It's all in the mind, because you have not forgiven and you listen to the wrong devil. You listen to Satan.
Is there a right devil?
I was just thinking that. I was thinking about self, but I wanted to say devil. But I meant you listen to Satan. Really. That's why. It doesn't make sense that Satan can convince you to hate somebody. Just think about that. It doesn't make sense Satan made you resent somebody else, knowing you are no better, you come from the same situation. Why would you hate anybody for that? Even Antifa, you can't hate them. Stand up, but don't hate them. All right? He loves us very, very, very much. And once you're born again, he sees you as his own. He sees you as his daughter, his son or daughter. He really does. And life is so much easier that way. It's amazing. It really is. All right? So do the silent prayer. Speak up, but don't resent. All right? And remind me next week to talk about the attitude of Christians. It's a mess. It's so bad, it makes you not want to hire a Christian. I'm serious. Remember I said I want to hire black people? Now I don't think I'm going to hire a Christian. Their attitude is worse than the black. And don't let it be Christian and black. But I'll talk about that next week. So I got to do this. We're out of time, way out of time. I got to make a couple announcements. This Thursday, we're having the men's forum at 7. And guys, you don't want to miss this. I got some stuff to talk to you about that's going to make your hair turn into an afro. Like that. So you don't want to miss Thursday night meeting, all right? Check out the Fall Estate. We got some new episodes up there. Really good stuff. And also, we got to move out of here at the end of this year, December. And so I'm going to need you guys' help, ladies and guys. We need to raise money to move because it costs a lot of money to rent a place, get a place. We're going to lease for a while. And then in time, we'll buy our own place so we don't have to keep moving. And so I've asked that some white person help me put this together. I need 1,000 people to give $100. And then we can, it'll be easy to do all that stuff we got to do. And then we can eventually get a place. And so I know you spent $100 on pot, right? Yeah. Well, get high, and then you give $1,000. I mean $100. So I need $100, all right, from 1,000 people. If you want to get more, of course you can. And so we are on the lookout for a place right now in the Cover City area, West LA area, Santa Monica, Westwood. If you guys see something along your way, let me know. Call the office or something, let us know. We'll check it out.
Maybe we see something like about Ontario area.
About Ontario? Where's that? That's too far away. Plus, aren't the blacks and the Mexicans fighting out there?
Yeah, I mean, aren't they fighting everywhere?
Not on this side. I don't think they fight over here yet. I'm over here with the white folks, so they're not fighting yet.
Would you come to Orange County? We have a perfect place for you.
Oh, you do? It needs to be like centrally located.
Yeah, that's fine.
But I'll talk to you about it and check it out.
It's off the 405.
Oh, okay.
Jesse, I got a beautiful place for you in Mexico.
Fruitland. And so I really appreciate it if you help us out on this so we can get this done. It's time to move out of the way. They're going to tear this place down and build some apartment buildings or something like that. All right? It's happening all over the city, so it's not surprising. Any other announcement, James?
No.
Okay. I have a brand new article on WorldNet Daily about if somebody said this is a woman's world or something.
The future is female.
Yeah, the future is female. And then I said, well, if the future is female, then hell for the man coming out. Something like that.
Then the future is hell.
Yeah. Hell. Men, you have no idea yet that order of God and your role in life and how easy it is because he's going to guide you. You're not going to have to do it yourself. He'll do it through you. And the women are going to love it because women came from men and they are hungry for a real man so they can get their identity back. They're really, you're not supposed to be taking advantage of these women. You're supposed to be an example for them because you're the sons of God, all right? So they need you. They need you so they can see their way back, all right? And don't let the world tell you anything different than that, all right? So thank you all. Thank you for your support, folks. All right, I appreciate it. And thank you all very much. Let me have a song. So we're going to do an offering, Joel.